So one day I was scrolling through Reddit. Don't ask me why, but somehow, even though I don't go on Reddit VGC at all, this got into my feed that features turtle-like Pokemon that were able to reach the champions tier in VGC MB. And I'm like, okay, is this team actually good or am I getting trolled? We're here to find out. Let's try it out and see how well it goes. This is a Turtle Fiend team that was able to reach champions tier. Yes, it is actually true. And there is actually a Google Doc about this team that explains a bit more in detail, which I'm going to link down below. I'm not going to do my normal team breakdown because this team is very theme-like and it's not like the most competitive Pokemon VGC team, but it definitely has some fun strats. The main concept of this team, I'd say, is going to be the Trick Room mode. You do have access to Trick Room with Slowking, and of course the Fake Out with the Blastoise with multiple attacks with the Mega Form, and then you have access to like Torkoal, Appletun, and Avalugg, which are all super slow Pokemon, and you do have access to Apple Acid on the Appletun, which is able to lower the special defense of the target. So you can go for combinations with the Appletun, which is actually designed to be slower than your Torkoal and is able to go for Apple Acid into like an Eruption, Apple Acid into a Blastoise attack, or with the Slowking, so it can actually be pretty effective in dishing out some pretty strong damage with double up specifically. Appletun is also just a really generally bulky Pokemon, is able to survive a lot of attacks. Avalugg, which is pretty interesting, it does get access to Wide Guard and has some pretty good defense, like it's one of the best defensive mons in the game, able to take attacks really well, fire off some pretty strong damage. Body Press, just Oko's King Gambit, even though like it's not a same type attack bonus coverage option just because of how high Avalugg's defense stat is. And the Torterra option, you also do have a backup mode where if you're not going with the Trick Room plus the Slowking, you're going to go with the Torterra. You have access to Fake Out plus Shell Smash, and then you can threaten the Charizards with the Rock Slide, which is pretty much how you're threatening Charizard with this team. So a lot of the main modes with this team, you have a lot of bulk in general and just trying to dish out as much damage as possible. With your offensive mons under Trick Room, Blastoise Fake Out lead with Slowking is probably going to be most likely your common lead here. And then you feature it with like back Pokemon trying to sweep like Torkoal, Appletun, and Avalugg afterward, just under classic Trick Room. Or you go with like the Torterra setup mode, you try to dish out a lot of damage and then try to clean up with like some of your bulkier Pokemon in the back. That's how this team plays. I actually almost didn't feature this team because when I first tried it out, I was like, yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about this, but I decided to give it a shot. I loaded up the record button and let me just say the results started going crazy. Let us go into the matches with this turtle team and see how well it performs. But if you want to check out the creator, there'll be a link in the description down below alongside the details of the team. All right, we have Charizard, Eternal Flood, Basculegion, Garchomp, King Gambit, and Whimsicott. This is Big Six, and I think this match is pretty negative for me realistically, but I mean, I do have some ways I can choose a matchup depending on the lead here. I think this is going to be a Torterra game. I think I'm going to try out Blastoise Torterra. I'm going to hope they don't bring Whimsicott against Trick Room stuff and that they go for some other combination. And the Torterra plus Blastoise is good for setting up the Torterra to actually get some damage, which I think is important here. Do I bring Torkoal is the question. Weakening the power of Wave Crash isn't bad, but I feel like I definitely want Appletun in the back for the Basculegion, because I need as much damage to Basculegion as possible. Is it Torkoal Basculegion? Is it Torkoal plus Appletun? Having a backup to Fairies is nice too. But the thing is, this team is just really weak to some stuff. What's the Avalugg again? Final move? I know it's Crunch. It is Body Press. Okay. Body Press could help here. I'm just wondering if it's worth bringing Torkoal or not. I think I'm going to do Appletun Avalugg though, because Avalugg can kind of, against everything that isn't the Mega Evolution, can kind of sit there for the most part and take a hit and then fire back a decent attack, which is why I'm thinking bringing it. The reason I thought about bringing Torkoal is just to weaken the power of Aqua Jet, because Aqua Jet's pretty rough for me to deal with for Torterra, but I think this is a pretty okay lead here for me. Charizard Garchomp is pretty strong for Blastoise Torterra, because I can go for Fake Out plus Shell Smash. This is one of their best offensive leads into, like, I think Blastoise plus the Slowking, and since the team's already a little bit awkward into Trick Room, I thought this was decently likely, so I think this works out. I'm going to go for Fake Out into Charizard, and I'm going to Shell Smash. If they have Whimsicott, I mean GG. Like, I don't think I can really stop that, but they do Mega Evolve the Charizard immediately, which is perfect for me, okay? Now, the question is, do they Dragon Claw or the Torterra? Did they Earthquake? I'm hoping they target the Blastoise realistically, because I think that I'm hoping they fear the Blastoise more than the Torterra, which normally would be the case, especially with the Mega Evolution, but we'll see. So I will go for Fake Out into Charizard. Earthquake is perfect. Okay, that's literally best case. Literally best case. Okay. Life Orb Garchomp. We get the Shell Smash off. We're going to leave Dragon Claw, but the rest of the moves are going to be a bit tricky as we do get the Shell Smash. Alright. So we have +2 Torterra. The Rock Slide is going to threaten the Charizard. I don't know if they're going to go into King Gambit or not. They have like a few options here that's definitely quite interesting. I think I want to say Blastoise for later. I want to say the best mid ground because Charizard could protect. They could switch out. They might not know I have Rock Slide, so they might just attack here. I kind of want to go Appletun and protect the Torterra. I think they're going to focus their efforts on Torterra. I think having Blastoise for King Gambit, Dark Pulse to pressure the Basket Legion in the late game is very valuable. So I'm going to go into Appletun, which if they do a double attack here with like Earthquake Heat Wave, like I do take the attacks, which is pretty all right here. They do protect Charizard, so this works out pretty well. Okay. And they Earthquake it again. Okay. That's fine. As Appletun absolutely eats that. Do I want to switch out the Appletun? I think I just want to Rock Slide Draco because I assume I get a double knockout here unless they hard switch the Charizard into the King Gambit, which I am a little bit concerned about, but I think I have ways to potentially play around it. I am going to go for Draco into the Garchomp, and I will go for the Rock Slide because I can also flinch the Garchomp. Okay, Garchomp protecting and the Charizard taking this Rock Slide is massive. Nice. Okay. I really needed to connect that. I really need to connect that. This matchup is already not great. So I am able to KO the Charizard. Beautiful, which is massive. Huge strike gone. And the Garchomp did not put me into range of a priority attack, which is really important. The fact that they don't have access to KOing my Torterra, that's kind of thing here is like this matchup can be very dependent on if Torterra can knock out, but also the fact that can I actually get the attacks off with Torterra because of the priority, because I need more than one knockout usually with Torterra. Now I think we're in a pretty comfortable spot. Yeah, we're in a pretty comfortable spot because I can go for Draco into the Garchomp now, and I can go for Headlong Rush into Gambit. I guess I could Protect too. Protect isn't bad here. Actually, I like Protect. I do like Protect a bit better. Because if Appletun goes down to Dragon Claw, then I get a free switch to Blastoise, and then I threaten Aura Spear into Headlong Rush, which I think is good for me. Yeah, like this is fine. Appletun, unfortunately, you did not survive the turn, but granted, I don't think this is terrible for me. Okay. Do I want to go out into Avalugg or do I want to go into Blastoise? Because I could go for Headlong Rush into Gambit and Ice Spinner, which might not be the worst play. The thing is, if I'm going Blastoise, I'm a bit worried about like residual. Actually, I think this should be fine. I think I get to go Blastoise here. And I don't threaten Fake Out. I think I go for the Aura Spear because a lot of these Gambits have speed usually if they're Chople. So Aura Spear normally KO. I think KOs through Chople if they don't have like max HP. So I think it's worth going for. I'm gonna Headlong Rush and I'm gonna go for Aura Spear. They go for a Sucker Punch. They target the Blastoise though. What? I could have faked out. Okay, that's massive. I get the Headlong Rush into the Garchomp. The reason I went for this is because I want to try to pick up a double knockout here. Because I was worried if I fake out the Gambit and then I go for Headlong Rush, I'm worried about Sucker Punch endgame from the Gambit. So I feel like I needed the damage. Let's see if I'm right though. Oh, I didn't KO the Gambit, but that's still It's kind of awkward. It depends on if I go down to Sucker, I think. This is Basque Legion, right? I think it has to be. Yeah. Okay. I guess does Torterra live the Sucker Punch? We know it's not Black Glasses, so I might live Sucker. I definitely not Aqua Jet plus Sucker, but that's fine. I go for a Aura Speed. Actually, no, I go for a Water Spout because if they leave my Blastoise alone, I just get the damage, right? Like a bit of damage in the Basque Legion guaranteed put in Dark Pulse range while I get the KO and Gambit guaranteed. Yeah, I think I just go for Headlong Rush, Water Spout. They go for Aqua Jet, which doesn't KO. Beautiful. Did they Sucker double up? They did. That's fine. That's perfect, actually, because I get Water Spout into the Gambit. Get rid of Gambit, so now I can't go down to Iron Head Flinch. And then I get 2 crunches off with my Avalugg, and I should win the game off that. Cool. Oh my goodness. This is a very, very stressful matchup, but thankfully we were able to overcome this. We go out into Avalugg. We go for Crunch and Dark Pulse. We have Sturdy on Avalugg, so we need to see like 2 attacks from the Basque Legion to KO the Avalugg. And now we get to go for Dark Pulse into the Basque Legion, and then we go for Crunch into Basque Legion. And Dark Pulse should KO, Crunch should 2-shot, so we should be fine. Last Respect goes into the Blastoise. Blastoise goes down. That's perfectly all right. How much does Crunch do? Show me damage. That did a little bit less than I thought. Thankfully, it's not Citrus, but they don't usually run Citrus on the Basque Legions on these teams. So, Crunch should KO the Basque Legion, and again, that Water Spout damage was actually a little bit important here. So here comes Last Respect. Citrus Berry activates. Wow, Avalugg actually took the Last Respect. I know this thing has massive physical defense, but have you ever seen like that boost of a Basque Legion not even do 75%? Like... Okay, we take 1 on the board against Big Six. Good start. Good start. If they switch out Charizard to Gambit, it becomes a lot tougher. All right, we have Staraptor, Scizor, Torkoal, Farigiraf, Basque Legion, Sneasler. Is this Mega Scizor or Mega Staraptor? I feel like it should be Mega Staraptor. Normally on Trick Room teams, it's Final Gambit, but I feel like this should be Mega. Staraptor is not a fun Pokemon for my team to deal with, just generally. Yeah, this is going to be an extremely difficult one. Lead-wise, I'm actually thinking of going a very, very strange lead here of Slowking plus Torkoal. I think I'm going to go for Slowking plus Torkoal. You might be thinking, why am I leading Slowking plus Torkoal? The idea here is they don't have the best offense in the Torkoal immediately, as you can see by their team. So I think the fact that I have really high defense with the Torkoal means it's a better lead than Blastoise. Because if I lead Blastoise, the problem with leading Blastoise is, sure, I can do a lot of damage with like a Dark Pulse, but I can't really damage the Staraptor on lead if they go for close combat. So that's something I don't really like. Also, the fact that I can't protect with Blastoise, so the close combat's like really hard to be able to play around, I think kind of makes it so I prefer having Blastoise back and Torkoal as a lead because I can protect against it. I was kind of struggling on the last Pokemon. Avalugg or Appletun was fine. I'm going to go with Appletun because it's a switch into Torkoal, which if they do get Trick Room up, Torkoal Eruption is actually going to do a good amount of damage. So I think I do bring Appletun as the last, but yeah, let's see. Sneasler, Scizor. I mean, theoretically, I have a really good lead, right? Because they don't threaten any super effective damage unless they have knockoff on the Scizor. Trick Room's looking pretty good, plus an attack. Yeah, I like the idea of just Trick Room plus Eruption, I think. Or not Eruption, I go for Heat Wave here. They probably just fake out the Torkoal. I guess I could protect Torkoal, because if this is Poison Touch Sneasler, I would prefer not to take it, but Rock Slide, okay. Why did that do so much to Torkoal? It's Life Orb. Close combat does not KO me. It is knockoff, but we do have Cobra Berry, yeah. So I was like okay with sending up the Trick Room here against them. Okay. Torkoal ideally attacks here. Okay, Slowking. Alright, that's not terrible. Okay, this is not that bad. Because Bullet Punch doesn't knock me out, and I can go for Psychic Noise into the Sneasler and go for a Eruption or Heat Wave. I'm just going to go for Heat Wave. I think I need to go greedy with damage here. Because if I go for Eruption's a little bit too weak, I think, in general, to try and catch switch-ins. Like, I want to be able to, like, two-shot the Ferrograph if it switches in, for instance, or punish their Torkoal. So I'm going to go for Heat Wave plus the attack here. Alright. Interesting for sure. Knockoff on the Scizor. It didn't Mega Evolve, so it's probably Staraptor, which is easy for me to deal with. So we should be okay. They don't have a good switch into Psychic Noise plus Heat Wave. And I know I get the KO on Sneasler if they stay in. If they switch out, that's fine. Sneasler switches out. Scizor stayed in. Staraptor. Yeah, this is not taking it that well. So I guess they didn't... What's their last then? Okay, Heat Wave comes out. Very shocked that they let me get this. Also, that did so much to Staraptor. I was shocked that they stayed it. They didn't just sack Sneasler. Okay, perfect. That game's nowhere near over because they do have... I mean, I feel like I'm in a really good spot because I have Blastoise and I have Appletun, which are pretty good against the Torkoal, if they do have Torkoal as the last. Sneasler comes in. Oh, it's Basket Legion back. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about my spots. I guess the question is, do I want to sack Slowking or do I want to go out into something else? I think I just Psychic Noise the Sneasler and I just go for Heat Wave. I don't know if they have Protect. We'll find out, but I'm willing to go for it. Yeah, they go for Fake Out and a Torkoal and I just get the KO on Sneasler. I think that's just massive, so I was willing to risk it here. Because I want to know if they had Protect or if they had Fake Out. And if they didn't have Fake Out, I just get a Heat Wave off into Basque and that puts it in range of like Dark Pulse if it's not Cobra Berry. So I feel pretty good about this. I do KO the Sneasler, fantastic. And yeah, really, really strong, I think, combination. I'm really surprised Staraptor didn't lead, but it works out huge for me. They go for Fake Out, Last Respect into the Torkoal. Torkoal goes down, but this is perfect. Like, this is actually perfect. So now I can go out into Appletun, and I can go for a Apple Acid into Psychic Noise combination. So... I don't know if there's Scarf. I think I am going to go for Apple Acid into... Yeah, I just go for Apple Acid and Psychic Noise this turn. If they Protect, it's fine. They might go for a double Protect. If they go for a double Protect, my best play here... Is it just to keep attacking? I think it's just to keep attacking, realistically. Yeah, I think it is. I'm just worried if this is Cobra Berry. Because Cobra Berry could change this endgame. Let's see. I think it's worse if they get an attack off here, though. So I think I'd rather just go for Psychic Noise into Apple Acid. They do get the double. Okay. This could get a bit spooky. This could get a bit spooky here. Granted, I think we should be okay. I definitely go for Trick Room here with my Slowking, because unless I think the Basket is just slower than my Blastoise, but that's like no speed on the Basket Legion. I'm just going to go for Apple Acid Trick Room. Okay, they go for Last Respect. Oh, they target Slowking. If they target Slowking because they read like maybe Protect on the Appletun and Trick Room, then they guarantee lose. So that's also another thing that I was going for because they could also try to read that. So I do get an Apple Acid off into the Basket Legion. Ooh, that did way more damage than I thought, actually. That did way more damage than I thought. And because I get the Apple Acid off, now I can go for Dark Pulse plus the Apple Acid, and I just can't lose. The Basket Legion has no way to double knock out either of these Pokemon, no spread moves, so Dark Pulse and then Apple Acid is pretty strong here. So nice. A lead was perfect, and you know, we could have had a really ideal start, I think, with KOing the Scizor with Heat Wave and the damage into Sneasler, but I don't think it was too bad of a situation. I just don't think they had literally great tools to that lead, which ended up working out really nicely. Last Respect does KO the Appletun, but we do have... I did click Dark Pulse, right? Like, yeah. And it wasn't Cobra Berry, so we should have been good as long as we got, like, the Trick Room up, because we could go for Dark Pulse plus Psychic Noise, and they would have needed, like, 4 Protects to stall out Trick Room. So we're good, because Psychic Noise would have gone off before, like, a potential Citrus Berry from the Basket Legion. So beautiful. It works out. All right, we have our Chaladon, Annihilate with Gengar, Incineroar, Politoed, Mousehold. So a lot of potential options. Perish is definitely a potential option with the beat up on the Annihilate, beat up for the Archaudon. Really cool design team because there's a lot that you have to consider when facing it, because you have Perish option. You could have an offensive mode potentially with the Gengar Mousehold if it's like Fake Tears or Super Fang double ups. You have access to the beat up combination with the stamina on the Archaudon or the Rage Fist on Annihilate. A lot of stuff I have to consider, so really cool options that they have. Lead wise, what am I going here? I do not have a ghost type. I do not have a ghost type. Reiterating that I do not have a ghost type. But granted, I don't think this matchup's awful, but it's not great. Okay. I think I'm going to go with Blastoise Slowking because the amount of damage that it can do is probably the best. And I have Fake Out Trick Room, which is actually pretty good here. I think I need Torterra because the ground coverage is just so strong against my opponent's team because they don't have a ground resist. Last Pokemon's tricky because I don't know if it's Torkoal or Appletun, because Torkoal could actually screw me over giving Politoed Weather Ball. So I think it might be Appletun, which I'm not happy about because like Appletun doesn't really do much here, but Avalugg does way worse because it does literally like, it only has crunch really. And I guess Body Press can hit the instant, but like the damage is just really poor and it takes special attacks way worse. I think Appletun's just better. So we see Gengar Incineroar, which is not surprising for Perish, as I do lead the Blastoise with Slowking. Okay. So a lot of potential options with Fake Outs that could come out. I think I go for Fake Out and Instant plus a Psychic Noise into Gengar immediately. I need the damage into Gengar. I could also just go for a Dark Pulse Psychic Noise as well, or Water Spout isn't too bad if I expect Parting Shot Protect, but I think Fake Out makes the most sense. Have the Incineroar just an awkward spot. I think I go for Fake Out plus a Psychic Noise. This also kind of helps cover for disable stuff in the future. So they stay in with Gengar. As long as this isn't like fast instant, but like a lot of the Perish teams run slow instant. So we Mega Evolve both. I'll also get the boost to the defenses, which is important because I don't know if the Gengar can two-shot the Blastoise. It should be Perish. Fake Out. And Perish Song, yeah, okay. The Incineroars on this team usually run Pasha Berry for Basky Legion. Psychic Noise does a really good amount of damage to Gengar, which is great. Okay, I think we go for Trick Room Spout here. Yeah, I don't see a problem with going for Trick Room Spout. I think it's really unlikely that they go for an attack with Gengar. Instant probably protects here, but that's okay as well. I'm going to go for Trick Room plus a Spout. Okay, they go for Protect with Gengar. That's fine. Did the Instant protect as well? That's not surprising to me. Okay. I don't mind going for Trick Room here because it makes it a very awkward position for Gengar because of the fact that Gengar goes down to Water Spout if it stays in, even at -1. But if they want to keep the trap, they have to switch out the Gengar and Parting Shot my Blastoise. But even then, because the instant moves first, that means that Gengar will switch in and then the Water Spout will happen. So that's why they're in a very awkward spot right now. They might need to go for a double protect here realistically. So I'm going to go for Water Spout and I'm going to go for Sludge Bomb into the Incineroar, I think. Because just getting the chip damage into Incineroar for future Water Spouts could be massive. Because, like, here's the thing. If the Gengar... I think Gengar has to go for Double Protect or switch out. And if they decide, hey, I'm going to go for a Double Protect, I can't do anything about that. And if they switch out, yeah, they don't have the best time switching. Oh, I guess with Mousehold, this changes to Calc. Let's see. I gotta Sludge Bomb off into the Instant. Maybe I should have Dark Pulsed? Oh. I think he had to Parting Shot the Blastoise. I thought like, oh, Friend Guard plus that could? I mean, it's still full health Blastoise with Spout. So I don't know if the Gengar would have lived anyway, but no, this is now over because I get a spout off into the Gengar. And like all that damage in the mouse is beautiful. Now the trap is gone, so they can't trap me in. And this is really, really good here. I'm curious if I sacrifice a slot here. Depends on what their last is. Annihilate. I think my best play is to go on Appletun and Sludge Bomb the mouse. I just don't want them to get a free beat up here. Yeah, I think I just Sludge Bomb the mouse. Let's see if this is correct. Okay, yep, I do get the Sludge Bomb. KO the mouse, so mouse goes down, and then they're gonna bulk up. Oh, they Rage Fist immediately. Okay, that works too. That actually works better for me, because if they don't have access to the beat up, that's massive. Slowking goes down to the Parish. I'm trying to figure out what gives me the best line here. I think I need to keep the Torterra White Herb. So I think I have to go Blastoise, but going Blastoise is a little bit awkward here, but I think it's still fine. Instant comes in. And the thing is, I actually really, really want to avoid attacking the Annihilate, because I don't want to give them Rage Fist boost, but I do have to be a little bit cautious of it here. Dealing, I think my best play is to go for the Apple Acid into Instant. And realistically, it's just fake. Is it fake out the Instant too, or is it just Aura Spear? I mean, I realistically think they're just going to fake out the Blastoise and bulk up, but we'll see. I'm just going to Aura Spear. Okay. They didn't fake out, so I do get the Apple Acid off into Instant, and that means I get the Aura Spear off. Okay, perfect. Throw Chop. Okay, that's fine. That does no damage. I gotta figure out a position to get Torterra in. I guess the question is, are you Ice Punch on Annihilate? Because Ice Punch on Annihilate could actually change this game. Oh, it is Ice Punch. That did nothing to Appletun. But that actually changes my matchup here by quite a bit. Okay. I mean, if I get an Apple Acid and a Water Spout here, it's really good for me, so I will go for it. Oh, they forfeit. I guess they didn't expect Torterra back, but I actually do think if the Annihilate's Ice Punch, Protect, Rage Fist, Drain Punch, I actually could have lost because I can't really damage the Annihilate and set up Torterra safely, so could have been actually really tough. Because I have to activate Defiant potentially, which makes it really awkward. So I actually think that game was actually still pretty tough because the fact that it had Ice Punch. I wasn't sure they had Ice Punch, but that could have gone pretty poorly. But I'm thinking it's not bulk up at the very least, so they couldn't set up, which is at least positive. Maybe I should have just had them get damage on Rage Fist and just like Water Spout, Psychic Noise, or Sludge Bomb, but it worked out. Alright, we have Vanillux, Basket Legion, Blastoise, King Gambit, Farigiraf, Torkoal. So we got, basically, I assume this is just Hard Trick Room, which we'll see how well we can handle it. Because Blastoise Mirror is fine, although I guess Vanillux is going to be a bit scary. Yet I think we have pretty okay tools. And I bring my Slowking doesn't do anything in this matchup. Like, realistically, it does nothing in this matchup. So I'm debating about, like, not bring it. But the question is, what do I bring? Because Avalugg, it's, like, okay. It might be just good as a backup answer to their Basket Legion. I think I definitely lead Blastoise because it's really strong offensively. I kind of like Blastoise Appletun because the Acid Spray pressure against the Blastoise is just massive. I think I do bring Avalugg. I think this is an Avalugg game. The question is, am I bringing Torkoal or am I bringing the Torterra? I think I always bring Torkoal because I'm not clicking Water Spout. Well, I don't think they're clicking Water Spout either against my team, which is weird. I think Torterra is fine. I'm trying to figure out if we're playing in or out of Trick Room because that's going to be a really important factor because they have some pretty fast mons, Vanillux, Basculegion, but I'm not sure. The thing is, their Torkoal is probably the slowest Pokemon out of all our teams, which means that Torkoal could sweep me under Trick Room. I'm not careful. So that's why I'm a little bit cautious here. What is this lead? What is this lead? I have the Thick Fat ability, so it's not like Freeze Dry's 4 times effective. I am very confused on this lead here. I guess like this is just gonna be a strange matchup in general. Okay. Curious if I can just get an Aura Spear off into Vanillux. Or if I should just fake out and go for a Draco Meteor for damage. I think I just go for the Aura Spear into Vanillux. The question is, am I attacking with Appletun or not? I think I just protect. Does the Vanillux run Sash on this team? It might run Sash. I actually don't remember what the Vanillux runs on this team. I don't think it's Scarf. Maybe I should have faked out first. Okay, we will protect our Appletun. They could have also switched Furgat, but I didn't think it was likely. I don't even know if they brought it. Okay, I'm faster than Vanillux, which is huge. Good damage to Vanillux. Is it Freeze Dry? Blizzard, okay. I can't get frozen in Sun, which is really nice. And then Water Spout Draco is looking pretty tempting in their team. I think it's Never Melt Ice on the Vanillux based on the damage. Eruption. Okay, this is gonna hurt the Blastoise, but it's like nowhere near a KO. Ooh, that did a lot. Yeah, I think Water Spout and Sun does that. The thing is, the Vanillux actually took the attack pretty well. I'm not that worried about King Gambit. I am a bit worried about Basculegion, but I think this is overall okay. Also, they really went for the Blizzard out in Sun. I think I just go for... Do I go for Aura Spear or do I go for Dark Pulse? I go for Dark Pulse into Vanillux if I'm worried that Water Spout doesn't KO. And I think that's probably better. And I'm just going to drop a Draco, I think, into the Torkoal to weaken the power of Eruption. They go for Ice Shard, so I could have went for Water Spout, but I mean, that's still okay. So I do go for the Dark Pulse. It covered a Basculegion or Basculegion switch. And they weren't going King Gambit on the Aura Spear. So Vanillux goes down. I do hopefully land a Draco. I should outspeed the Torkoal easily. Nice. And we do connect. So the Eruption's a lot weaker now. Yeah, perfect. Eruption? Earth Power. Okay, yeah, that's not KOing, so we're good. All right. Not bad. Not the greatest start, but a pretty okay start. Let's see who they bring in next. Maybe Basculegion. Could be the Blastoise, which is fine. I'm just going to Acid Spray, Dark Pulse that slot. Yeah, it is going to be Basculegion. I'm just going to go for... I need as much damage as I possibly can into Basculegion. So I'm going to go for Dark Pulse plus Acid Spray. I really need as much damage into Basculegion as possible, so I will always go for it. Luckily, the Last Respect is just very weak right now. Oh, this is perfect. The Torkoal protected. That's perfect. Okay, they have a faster Basculegion. That's not too surprising. They go for Last Respect to KOs the Blastoise, but we are okay there. The next turn is actually kind of tough. We do go for the Acid Spray. This special defense drop. Do I go Torkoal and do I click Acid Spray into Heat Wave here? This is going to be a really tough position here, but I think it is Torkoal. I do unironically think it's Torkoal, because I think Torkoal is the least useful mon. I think it is actually important to keep my Avalugg around, and I think it's always double the Basculegion with Heat Wave plus a Acid Spray. I know I'm faster than their Torkoal, most likely just because of the awkward speed tier with this Torkoal, because the Torkoal actually has neutral nature. I think the Basculegion might be very likely to switch too. So if I get an Acid Spray into Heat Wave onto this slot, if they like try to switch in Blastoise, either way, I have to either get rid of Basculegion or I have to get rid of the Blastoise. So I need the damage in the Bast slot. They go for Last Respect, which is perfect, into Appletun. Okay. We do get a Heat Wave off. Oh, I forgot about the speed order. But either way, that's good damage. I do get the KO here into Bask. That's massive. Do I beat the Avalugg is the question. I don't know if I beat the Blastoise in the back. I guess we'll find out. Hey, Earth Power. Oh, that's really good for me, actually. Okay. Special defense fall. That's fine. It's gonna come down to what the Blastoise clicks here. I assume it's Blastoise back. Yeah. Like, could Appletun potentially beat the Blastoise? That's a good question. It's the last turn of Sun. It doesn't really change much here, though. I think I go for them attacking the Appletun slot, and I go out in Avalugg. I think that's the play here. I gotta hope that they Dark Pulse D or Aura Spear here, and I have Sturdy, so I'll live. Like, this Blastoise is still a really endgame demon here, so we'll see. I guess, like, I wasn't scared of the Basket Legion because they brought it out earlier. If they did, like, Blastoise sequencing instead of Basket Legion, I think it was tougher, but yeah. They spouted. Okay, it's over. Because I could have maybe went for, like, Protect Acid, Apple Acid into the Torkoal. Now it's, yeah, it's over. Okay, wait. Not over yet, I guess. I think it's still probably over realistically, but I mean, they gave me a chance, I suppose. I don't think Appletun lives to Dark Pulse, though. I know we have investment, but I'd be shocked if we did. Also, that water spout did so much in the sun. I mean, we just gotta go for Apple Acid right into the Blastoise, and I think we gotta go for... Actually, should I just go for Protect to get the lefties and maybe live the Dark Pulse? You know what? I'm gonna make a bit of a weird play. I'm gonna go for Wide Guard. I think they either Spout here or they go for... I think they always Heat Wave Torkoal. The Blastoise I'm unsure of. I don't think they're ever attacking or Spear into Avalugg. I think they always target the Appletun. Okay, they spouted here. Man, Appletun would have just clicked Apple Acid and been in a really great shape. But I think this is still okay. Oh, I have to read Water Spout again, right? I mean, we have Thick Fat, so we do resist a Torkoal attack, but yeah, this is still really awkward. I don't think they're inclined to go for the attack again. Can I actually, maybe I could Apple Acid the Torkoal, but they could protect the Torkoal. I don't think they are, by the way they're playing. I think they're probably just gonna go for like Aura Spear, Dark Pulse now, maybe target the Avalugg or the Appletun. So I think I go for Body Press plus a Apple Acid, which should KO the Torkoal at 8%, I imagine. I'm hoping Appletun survives an attack from Blastoise. It is Aura Spear, okay. I do survive, that's massive. Here comes Apple Acid. Into Torkoal. The problem is I need Body Press to KO the Blastoise, so we kind of have to play a 50-50 here. Oh, it might not even be a 50-50. I need to Apple Acid the Blastoise. Like, I need to read which slot. I was worried that they Aura Speared and just Heat Wait for damage that last turn, which is why I decided to double to Torkoal, but maybe I had to commit there. The Protect is super obvious, but like Avalugg doesn't seem like it's a massive threat, but they might overread of like my Appletun attacking. Yeah, but it's just a call at this point. I'm gonna Apple Acid and I'm gonna go for... I'm pretty sure Water Spout never KOs Appletun. So if I read them to target the Avalugg, then I think this is the most sense to go for the Body Press into the Apple Acid. It's just gonna come down to who the Blastoise targets. Aura Spear, Avalugg? Okay. Okay. Apple Acid needs to do 67%. I don't think that's impossible, but like, we'll see. Apple Acid. Got the call right in the end game. Oh, we got a crit too. I don't know how much that mattered. I don't know how much that mattered, but you know what? I got the call right. We got a heat ray dodge, but we kind of needed to. This matchup was Demon, double bulky water, and us playing out Trick Room just ended up not being great. Like Basky Legion plus Blastoise. That's not a fun matchup for this team. That's not a fun matchup for this team. But you know what? We had outs. We got them, thankfully. I could have played a bit better in that mid game because if I KO'd the Torkoal, if I called the Water Spout instead, them going for Water Spout, and instead of trying to preserve the Appletun, I went for the attack. I think it was a game win. But we'll take what we got. All right, we have the King Gambit Sneasler with Basky Legion, Dragonite, Frostlass, and Garchomp. Yeah, this team is... I mean, this is a pretty standard ladder team, but I don't know how well we have tools for this because we already have a problem with Dragonite. Our Frostlass is... Frostlass is very awkward. What's actually nice is Avalugg is actually pretty decent into the team. But if I remember right, the Dragonite's special, which makes this very, very weird here. I think I lead Blastoise plus Slowking. I think this is a Blastoise Slowking game with Avalugg because it's really good into the dragons. Probably Torkoal. I need offense. Yeah, I need offense into the Frostlass. I think this is the best call. If I can get Avalugg under Trick Room, the Avalugg actually goes crazy. I'm a little bit worried about endgame Basky Legion though, because I'm not bringing the best tools into Basky Legion. Like Avalugg's okay into Basky Legion, but I don't have the most offense other than Dark Pulse here. It's not like Appletun was getting KO, but I think it's probably my best Mon here. Although I don't have good switch-ins to ground coverage, so I might have to just stay in till I faint with like Blastoise and Slowking. So let's see. Gonna be Frostlass Sneasler is fine. And it's Blastoise Slowking. They could go for Fake Out Shadow Ball, which I honestly think is okay. I'm just gonna go for a Dark Pulse into the Frostlass, and I am gonna go for a Trick Room attempt. If they Fake Out Shadow Ball, then if I protect, I'm in a great spot, but they could set up Veil too. I could see Fake Out into Veil as well, but I am gonna Trick Room Dark Pulse. That Frostlass is very demonic just in general because the special attack damage output is like what scares me about it. So if I get rid of it, Avalugg has a lot more fun of a time, but let's see if that's gonna be the case here. Snow Warning. I assume this is always Fake Out into Slowking, but if they Fake Out Blastoise, this works out because I should live a Shadow Ball from the Frostlass and then get Trick 'em up. Fake Out and Slowking. Okay, did they Aurora Veil or not? They Shadow Balled. Protect would have been better, but I still think this is pretty acceptable. Yeah, Slowking's around. As we get a Dark Pulse. Okay, Frostlass gone. That's a pretty good knockout here. Although I think this opens up Garchomp, if I'm not mistaken here. Okay. But they can't Earthquake next to Sneasler and go for close combat, so I guess it's not like a terrible spot. But Garchomp does come out, yep. What's nice is they have the Snow, which gives me the defense boost with Avalugg. I think I go Avalugg for the... Do I go Avalugg for the Blastoise? I think so. Having Fake Out Pressure seems really nice here. If I'm not mistaken, it's not Life Orb on either of these Pokemon either. Do I go for Trick Room or do I go for Protect? I think I Protect. The reason I think I Protect is like I thought about like lines where I could either like maybe get the Blastoise in safely for Fake Out Pressure next to Avalugg, but I don't think this is a bad line either because I could either trade Garchomp for Slowking, which I think is a pretty good trade here. They close combat. This shouldn't do that much, right? Yeah, I didn't think that was doing that much. That's why I like was willing to switch in Avalugg on this slot because I did not think I was taking that much. They Rock Slide? That might not KO Slowking. Okay. I get my Citrus Berry back, so I'll live another double up, which is huge because I can Ice Spin or KO the Garchomp, right? And if I KO Garchomp, Then I think my Blastoise has a lot more fun of time, but we'll see. I'm going to go for Ice Spinner into Garchomp, and I'm going to go for a Trick Room. They could protect Garchomp close combat this Slowking, but that's okay. They go for close combat again. Does Rock Slide KO? I just don't think it does. Oh, wait, they Earthquake their own Sneasler. That's huge. Okay. That's really nice, because I get rid of the Garchomp with the Ice Spinner. Oh, this endgame is very, very fascinating. Oh, man. I get the Ice Spinner. I get the KO into the Garchomp. So Garchomp goes down. I think it's going to come down to does Sneasler have Protect on this team. I don't know if it does. I'm going to go out into my Blastoise, though, and fake out the Sneasler as bad. It's not Basculegion. Do I just win here? I think it's Chople on the Gambit. But Torko's looking really nice here. I think I just fake out Body Press, right? I don't think there's a reason not to go for this play. I go for fake out Body Press. Nice. We get rid of Sneasler. That's massive. So Sneasler goes down. No Basculegion is shocking to me, but that works out so well for me. Kowtow Cleave into Blastoise does nothing, and then Body Press into Chople Gambit. Yep. It should still do a decent chunk. That did way more than I expected, actually. I thought I was doing like 40. But Avalugg's defense is just that good. We do take the win. Oh, man. Avalugg in the snow. I didn't think I was doing that much. Also, I do think Basculegion would have been tough there. It's always just tough if I don't have Trick Room up. But oh man, I did not think I was gonna accomplish that. It really helped that they actually Earthquake their own Mon. I didn't think Rock Slide was KO this Slowking, so they were willing to go for the Earthquake. Also, I wasn't sure if it was Sash. I thought it was White Herb on the Sneasers, but I guess we didn't see White Herb activate, so I guess Sash made sense. Alright, we have Farigiraf with Cleaver, Staraptor, Sinistcha, Camerupt, and Sylveon. I want to say this is Mega Camerupt and regular Scarf Final Gambit Staraptor. I have no idea to guarantee it though. Cleaver is interesting. I wonder if it's Sash or... It's probably Sash, I assume. Okay, dealing with this... It's not easy, but having Wide Guard on Avalugg is actually kind of nice here. But the problem is the Camerupt actually is very problematic. Okay, I'm trying to figure the best combination. I do like Appletun a lot, just because of the fact that it is a resist to Camerupt, so I can actually switch into it. I think I always bring Slowking. I think it's Blastoise Slowking as the lead, because Slowking does take a Final Gambit from Staraptor. I don't want to bring Torkoal as the problem, because if I bring Torkoal, then I power up the Camerupt, which is not great. But my answers to Sylveon are very suspicious. Did I just bring Avalugg for the Wide Guard? I guess I could. I don't really love that, but it's, I guess, usable. I guess I'll go for it. Yeah, this is kind of a weird one because, like, I think I have tools, but it's kind of hard to maneuver against a Trick Room in general. So I'm kind of curious on what they lead here. I think Staraptor makes the most sense with the Farigiraf, but we'll see. Cleaver Staraptor. That is not what I expected. Okay. I'm okay with going Avalugg here. Avalugg is the least needed Mon in this matchup if they want to Final Gambit the Blastoise, and I think that's fine for me. And then I think I go for Psychic Noise into the Cleaver to break a Sash. Yeah, because I could see them trying to bait Farigiraf as well, which is also another reason why I didn't go for this immediately. So I think this is fine. Because I didn't lose a Mon here. Like, no matter who the Final Gambit goes into. Also, Cleaver is probably, like, the least scary Mon for me to deal with. So, Final Gambit going to come out. I am able to survive guaranteed. It was max HP Staraptor because it does 192 exactly. And then we get a Psychic Noise off. I wish I went for Sludge Bomb because I could have got Poison off in the Giraffe, but I still think this is pretty good for me. So here comes Psychic Noise into the Giraffe. Now the problem is they're going to go out in a Camerupt and they're going to go for Heat Wave or Earth Power, and it's going to be a bit of a problem. Oh, they went Cleaver again. I guess they're going to go for Stone Axe, which is fine. If that's the case, I'm just going to go for damage into the Giraffe. I'm going to go for a... I think Crunch is better, or do I think just Body Press does more damage? Because the thing about Crunch is I don't know if this is a Cobra Berry. I guess I could also break a Sash on Cleaver, which is also pretty okay. Since I wouldn't be surprised if this is like max speed Cleaver just for the matchup against Charizard. I think I go for Body Press and Sludge Bomb. They go for Stone Axe into Slowking, which is fine. So rocks are up. I don't think that's that bad. Twin Beam. Okay, they're not getting Trick Room up, which is actually fine by me. What's the last mon? Is it Camerupt? Or is it Sylveon? That's what I have to really figure out. Here comes a Sludge Bomb. Decent damage. I go Blastoise. I go for Dark Pulse, or do I go for Spout? I have to go Blastoise too. I can't go into Appletun. I'm just trying to figure out what is better to Dark Pulse or what is better to Water Spout. Because getting rid of Cleaver might be the better priority here. I bet I go Blastoise. And go for... I think I double up the Cleaver. Stone Action and go crazy into Blastoise if I'm not mistaken. I hope that Psychic Noise Water Spout KOs Cleaver because I actually don't know this calc, but I'll go for it. The extra damage in the Farigg might be important because it could mean for like a Sludge Bomb range, so I'll go for it always. Farigg could protect too. Okay, Night Slash. That's actually really good for me because Cobra Berry. Okay, I should live the Sharpness boosted Night Slash. Yeah, easily. Perfect. And I do get a Water Spout off, which is big. Okay, should bring it down to Sash. Yep. Ooh, I almost KO'd Farigg. I wasn't expecting to almost KO Farigg there, but that works out really nicely. Thunderbolt. Okay, this is perfect. This is actually perfect. I think I should win here because I KO'd a Cleaver. I guess if it's Sylveon, I could still lose. Okay. Are you Sylveon or are you Camerupt back? Because this is going to determine the game. Okay, it is Camerupt. If it was Sylveon, I would have probably had to switch out Slowking for Regenerator into Appletun. But now I win by clicking Water Spout. Oh, man. Oh, that could have gone a few different ways, but thankfully, we did not fall for the final Gambit bluff, which I thought they could do, but I actually thought they were probably going to attack, but I was never falling for it. I was never going for Fake Out there. All right, Sableye, Archaludon, Swampert, Sinistcha, Pelipper, Dragonite. Matchup, it's okay, because Blastoise is really strong here, yet at the same time, it's not like Archaludon's an easy mon to handle, especially with Rain Dance as an option. I'm curious if I could do a Torterra game. I think it's not possible though, right? Because if I do... Okay, this is actually tough because of the Sableye. The Sableye makes this difficult because they have access to Rain Dance and Encore, which screw over a lot of the strats I have for Archaludon. Lead-wise, it might be tricky. I might have to go with a very specific routing here. I think I'm going to go with Blastoise, and I'm going to go with Torterra. It's a very, very weird lead combination, but this covers Archaludon Sableye, which is the mode that gives me the most trouble. I definitely bring Appletun in the back. And then last mon, I'm struggling between do I go with Slowking or do I go with Avalugg? Because if they go with Dragonite rooting, then I should go with Avalugg realistically. But if they bring Swampert, well, if they don't bring Swampert, this is tough. I think I go with Slowking back because it's more consistent in Trick Room. But this is still difficult because maybe they don't bring Swampert in. Like, here's the thing. I know Archaladon and Sableye is definitely the scariest parts of the team to me. I don't know which Mega they're going to go for. Because Swampert's pretty good offensively against my team as well. But so is Dragonite, so I can't really tell. Sableye, Archaladon, yep, that's not surprising. The threat of like Encore and a bunch of stuff is just really terrifying. So we do bring out the Torterra and the Blastoise. Oh, I have to call to turn 1. This could just be they can't Electroshot with Rain Dance and go for This is tough because if I lose Blastoise, I do lose the game most likely. I'm gonna go Appletun and I'm gonna go for Headlong Rush. If they protect, I should have Headlong Rush Water Spout to Sableye. But I'm hoping that they go for like, did they go for Rain Dance Electroshot? There's so many options that they have here. Oh, they have Whisk. That's bad. I could have Water Spouted too. Water Spout or Aura Spear would have won. Okay. What did they go with the Archaladon? If they Electroshot, this isn't that bad. That did some pretty decent damage to the Archaladon. That did some pretty decent damage. I think the Sableye probably doesn't have screens. White Herb at least prevents my drops from being effective. Oh my goodness. I did not think they were going to Draco immediately. Appletun took that, which I can't tell if that's like, that's actually really insane. Okay, very, very weird spot here. Playable, but very weird spot. This should be a swap from Archaladon, right? I don't think you should stay in. They theoretically could. I feel like I need Leftovers Recovery on the Appletun. They're not going to Electroshot my Torterra, I'm pretty sure. So I think I swap. I protect the Appletun. I go back to Blastoise. Okay. This has not been a great start, but like this lead is super tricky because there's like a lot of options that they had depending on the Sableye moveset. They stayed in with Arch. Did they Draco the... Okay, Shadow Sneak, the Appletun. Did they Draco too? Flash Cannon. Okay, that works out. I get a bit of Leftovers Recovery. Shadow Sneak, Will-O-Wisp. I'm guessing it's like one of Encore Disable. So that's good for me here. I think my best play is to always Aura Spear, and honestly, I can't tell if it's to go Slowking. I think it is to go Slowking here. And go for a Aura Spear. I would love to KO Archaladon if they give me the opportunity to. So let's see if they give me that opportunity. I will go Slowking, so I can go for Trick Room in the potential later parts of the game. I was debating about staying with Appletun, because even if they Encore me and it protects, the fact that I'm just stacking Leftovers Recovery wouldn't have been that bad. But I think Slowking Trick Room positioning is better for me here, long term. They go for Rain Dance. Rain Dance Electroshot doesn't do that much to Blastoise because they're -2. Well, I guess they're going to be -1, but like, I still don't mind this. Yeah. Okay. I guess the question is, do I live Shadow Sneak into Wave Crash from Swampert? Blastoise hangs on. Yeah, as I said, very comfortably, and we get an Aura Spear off. So we do get rid of the Archaladon. So Archaladon is gone. I don't have to worry about Electroshot, which is like the biggest damage output into the Blastoise, which is great. That Demon is gone, but the rest, I still have to deal with the Mega. The Dragonite will be the Mega, okay. Man, Avalugg would have been nice here, though. Hurricane would have done a lot of damage, I suppose. Do I need Trick Room up? Probably not. I think I just need damage. I need to break the multi-skill on Dragonite for sure. I'm going to Sludge Bomb first, and I'm going to sack Torterra here, I think. Because I think Torterra has the least... Like, Torterra was mainly 4-star Child. Unfortunately, it was with Sableye, which made it harder for Torterra to actually do much into it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this is Hurricane. Into a slot, I think it's probably the Blastoise because I think Blastoise is the bigger threat offensively. This also covers for the electric move if they have an electric move like Thunder. But Light Screen. Okay, so it's Light Screen, Shadow Sneak, Will-O-Wisp, Rain Dance. Okay, so it doesn't have Encore Disable. Again, I don't mind if Hurricane knocks out here because I don't need the Torterra. So I don't have to worry about Encore, which is nice. I can actually play a bit more aggressively, but Light Screen is still not great for me. So here comes Sludge Bomb. That did nothing. That Poison's really helpful, though. I did need the Poison because I need to really build up damage into the Dragonite. So nice Sludge Bomb there. Now I can go out into... I think Blastoise again. And then just threaten Fake Out into Trick Room. This game is still nowhere near over just because of the Sinistra, but we will go for a Trick Room here, and we will go for a Fake Out into the Dragonite. We need as much chip as possible onto that Dragonite. I wonder if Sinistra is their last Pokemon over Pelipper. Like, Pelipper makes my life a lot easier, but if it's Sinistra, very complicated endgame because the recovery on the Dragonite is actually really massive here. Okay, we do see the swap. This is Sinistra. Yeah. Okay, this is going to be a bit tough, but it's manageable. As we get a Fake Out off, so we break Multi-Scale again, but it's okay. We do get the Trick 'em off. I wonder if they Rage Powder here, or they're going to go for... My ideal situation is that they stay in and try to Matcha Gotcha, and I'm able to Psychic Noise, prevent the Matcha Gotcha from going off, and then I get a Dark Pulse follow-up. So I think that's what I'm going for here, because I know that Hurricane can't knock out the Blast. I'm pretty sure Hurricane doesn't knock out Blastoise at this range. This also prevents Life Dew from the Sinistra, and once I get a Sinistra, the Dragonite's on a timer. We're also stalling out Screen Turns, which is nice. They went for Rage Powder, which also works. Like, this is also fine because I doubled it. So I go for Psychic Noise. Did actually decent damage through Light Screen. Hopefully Dark Pulse also follows up with a very heavy hit. Nice. No Cobra. Very good damage to Sinistra. They go for Hurricane. Yeah, we do live. I don't think it should be Extreme Speed on the Dragonite. Maybe it is, but I do go for... They go for Sludge Bomb, Dark Pulse, double up. I think I do. I think I do. I think Sinistra's it either Rage Powers or switches out to Sableye here, I'm pretty sure. I double up the Dragonite to try and get rid of it. I could see Dragonite Protect, I guess, but... Well, I think I do need to risk just getting the damage into Dragonite here, because otherwise I'm hoping that Sludge Bomb into the Dark Pulse into Poison will get it, but we'll see. They do switch out to Sinistra, out into Sableye, yep. To avoid Psychic Noise. Okay, no Protect. Good damage from Sludge Bomb. Let's see if the Dark Pulse is enough. The Poison, a little bit off. We could get a flinch. We don't get the flinch, but that's still okay. Because I think Appletun plus Slowking have to lock in, but I think this is very doable. They don't have rain anymore, so the Hurricanes are inaccurate. We have 2 turns of Trick Room, which is good. I Sludge Bomb the Sableye, and I think I always just Draco the Dragonite. I think we're in an okay spot if we hit the Draco. The Sableye retreats to go out into Sinistra again for the Hospitality. They're hoping that I don't have a Dragon move. I think Draco KOs the Dragonite through screen. Why did they... Wait, what? I don't have a Nerve or anything. Why did that Berry activate? Why did the Berry not activate earlier? Oh, the Psychic Noise, right. Okay, that makes more sense. I guess Sludge Bomb I KO the Sinistra, or not with the Citrus Berry, my bad. But I still think this is okay spot. Because the Dragonite is on a timer still. If the Dragonite switches out into Sableye, they don't have access to recovery. So that's still okay. So I go for a Sludge Bomb, and I go for a Die Apple Acid. Nah, I think I always Draco here. There's not really reason to. Yeah, I just go for Draco. I feel like their only play that they have access to is not Rage Powder because I am a grass type on Appletun. Also, I think, yeah, I do hit the Draco, so I do KO the Dragonite. Whew. Okay, we do connect with the Dragonite. I thought they could go Sableye for the Dragonite, preserve it, but they would still been on a timer regardless, so they just had no way to heal the Dragonite anymore, which was the important part. And I am able to get the Sludge Bomb into the Sinistra, take the Sinistra for the knockout, and now it's Sableye with Shadow Sneak as its only attack. It does not beat Appletun 1v1 with leftovers. So I just spam Sludge Bomb into Apple Acid, and I win the game. Oh my goodness. I did not think I was winning that one. I did not think I was winning that one. Because our Archaludon is just like a bunch of mind games. Because if it screens Sableye, they could like protect, reflect turn 1. They can then Rain Dance Electroshot. They have Encore. They could disable. They had so many things that I had to consider there lead-wise that it was just like impossible to cover for all of them. And I tried to like bait Rain Dance Electroshot potentially into the Blastoise, but it didn't work out because it was with Sableye, which I was hoping to not see because it's like the less likely move on Sableye, I think, in general. So I was hoping that I'd be able to like get a really powerful Headlong Rush and then two-shot the Archaludon and have my Blastoise still healthy. But the Draco, Appletun eating that was crazy, but like, I don't know what to say. Wild game. So how was the team? Look, it's not the strongest team out there. I think we all probably could guess that. Like the damage output under Trick Room isn't the craziest. You do have powerful spread moves, but it's not like they're immediately getting knockouts. It can be weird to position. You have some pretty slow mons in general. But is it a lot of fun? Yeah, it's really fun. I'd say that you do have, of course, like ways that you can play with the team. I think the combination was cool. The Soaking Blastoise is pretty effective. We know how good Fake Out plus Trick Room was with Blastoise, especially early on in Champions. And then I think like Appletun was really cool. It wasn't like getting KOs or anything, but like I do think if Apple Acid was -2 instead of -1 would be quite a different story, but it was actually able to take a lot more moves than I expected. Like that Draco Meteor from Archaludon I was not expecting. Avalugg was actually super sick in that one game he was able to sweep. Torterra was actually able to put in work against that Big Six team for the first game. Yeah, like we had a lot of tools. Again, I think this team does struggle into a lot of common stuff. Obviously, the most powerful Pokemon are really hard to deal with, like the Charizard, because Torterra is like the only mon you can really threaten the Charizard with under the sun, and it's very easy to play around the Torterra. Priority is also a little bit difficult for this team because you don't have any priority blockers, which means that Fake Out, Stalling Out, Trick Room, or Sucker Punch, Aqua Jet are going to be really tough to deal with in late game scenarios. But I think the team was really fun, and yeah, I'm really glad I actually gave it a try because it wasn't going good at the start of my exploration when I tried out this team to see if I was actually going to use it for the channel. It wasn't winning games, but I decided to give it a chance, and I'm very glad I did because then I just locked in. I just locked in with the team. So if you want to try it out for yourself, check it out down below in the description. Use the team code while it is still available. And if not, you can check out again the Reddit post where I found this team alongside the Google Doc that the creator created on this team. Go check them out down below in the description, and of course subscribe to the channel for more VGC content as always.